Hey guys, Thrasher here. Have you ever watched the summon animations and wonder how they relate to what kind of character you're going to get? I'm going to tell you how it works right now. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm using a site that I do not own. I'll make sure to link it down in the comments. I had another way that I was going to show off all these different animations, but the way that I was putting it together, it was very hard to easily show everything at once, and if I showed the actual animations themselves, it was just taking way too long. So to make this short, we're going to use this site, and then I'm going to explain a couple things that they have on here that are not actually correct, but 98% of this entire article is accurate. So we'll go through this. Another thing to note here, these are not guesstimates, these are actual data mined values. So everything that I tell you is based on data that is coming from the server to the actual game client. So let's start first. So there's the hero rarity, the extreme rarity, and the sparking rarity. That's what they look like when they pop out. I'm sure you've seen it before. We don't really need to get crazy into that. Let's go down to the actual animation itself. So if we scroll down here, we see that there are, let's actually skip the destroy dynamic one first. Let's look at the actual accessories in the background. So when your animation first starts, there are 6 possible outcomes. These are the 6 right here. One thing I want to note is the way they say this, normal, probability, small, up. That's because this is all normally in Japanese and Chrome has translated it for me. The 0 pieces has a 0% chance of giving you a sparking unit, with one exception that we'll get to at the end of this. So if you see 0 pieces, you're not getting a sparking unit unless something crazy happens. Now, the 1 pod and the 3 pod both have fairly low chances of giving you a sparking unit. We won't go into the exact percentages. I'll just explain the percentages on the really important ones, because it doesn't matter if you know whether this is a 20% chance or a 30% chance. Unless it's some crazy high chance, it doesn't matter. So the 5 piece is actually the one that actually does have a crazy high chance of giving you a sparking unit. It's 71%. So the actual value is there is a 5 in 7 chance if you get the 5 piece that you're going to get a sparking unit, which comes out to like 71.4%, whatever. These are both guaranteed sparking. This says probability up when you get the mercenary Tau, but the value that is sent to the game client actually states that there's a 0% chance of pulling a hero unit and a 0% chance of pulling an extreme unit. So I don't know why this says probability up. It should say confirmed sparking. And as far as I know, I've never seen anyone pull anything but a sparking on this one, and this one's absolutely confirmed sparking. Now let's talk about destroy dynamic. So it says probability small up, but if you actually look at the data mine value, what it says is there's a 50% chance you're going to get an extreme unit and a 50% chance you're going to get a sparking unit. Now, as with almost everything else up here, these chances are then going to be modified by the other things that you see, which is why, unless it's an extremely high chance, I don't even really mention it. The only thing to really know here is your chances of getting a sparking are better seeing this than they are seeing green sky. Period. That's just how that works. Now the next thing to look at is the actual state of Goku. So you've got 3 different possibilities. He doesn't go Super Saiyan, he does go Super Saiyan, or Vegeta shows up. These are all really straightforward. Normal just means that it doesn't change the chances of all the other things going on, so don't really pay attention to it. If he goes Super Saiyan, 2/3 of the time you should be getting a sparking unit. So there's a 66% chance of a sparking if he goes Super Saiyan, and then this is absolutely confirmed. If you get Vegeta, you're getting a sparking unit. You know, start celebrating now. Awesome. So let's go down. Now this one is actually a little bit awkward, because when you see this one here, it actually also has a 5 in 7 chance of giving you a sparking unit, but because the Goku was already a 66% chance, it really only increases the chance that you're going to get a sparking by a very, very small percentage, like 6%. It says probability large up. In reality, if he goes Super Saiyan, this is probably what you're going to get. Sometimes I have seen him lose this fight though, so you may get one of these 3. Normal doesn't make a big difference. These 2, the difference is so small that it's not even really worth mentioning. I think this one is something like 10%, and this one's something like 20 or 30%. This is obviously confirmed sparking. Like I said, if Vegeta shows up, you're gonna get a sparking unit. Obviously he's gonna, beat the hell out of Frieza, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and go down. The next part is the actual pull itself. So this is actually not correct. I'm not sure why it works this way. This is supposed to be a 50% chance that you're going to get a sparking unit. If you see the red text, you are going to get something better than a hero unit. You will not get a hero. There's a 50% chance of extreme, 50% chance of sparking. If you see the gold text, you are getting a sparking unit, and if you see the spirit bomb, you are getting a sparking unit. This one, the change is so minuscule that it doesn't matter, and most of the time you can't even really tell that the text is bigger. Okay, so the next thing to look at here is when they actually fire off their energy attacks. These two are the normal ones that you see. Goku loses or it's a tie. In most cases, the change in percentage is so small it's not even worth looking at. Just assume that it doesn't tell you anything at all. Also, this one is a little misleading. What this one actually does, it says probability large up, but in reality what it's doing is increasing the probability that you're not going to get a hero unit and drastically increasing the probability that you'll get an extreme unit. So there is, let me just look at this value so I don't tell you something incorrect. Yeah, so in this case, the chances of you getting a sparking unit go from, in these two you'll lose unless some type of confirmed sparking thing happens, but in this case you now actually have a chance of getting a sparking unit. It goes from 0% chance up to about a 15% chance, and then your chance of getting an extreme goes from 1 in 3 up to about 55%. So you get a huge increased chance of getting an extreme unit, but you don't get a big increase to sparking. Now these other ones all down here are confirmed sparking. So if you see anything crazy happen, Vegeta shows up, they do a blast together, Frieza has a heart problem, all this stuff, guaranteed confirmed sparking. Now the next part, this is where the case where I told you before there are exceptions. There are quite a few different animations in here that are telling you, okay, you're going to get a hero unit or even possibly an extreme unit. When it comes to show you the color of the orb, it is possible that when the orb shows up, it will switch from blue or the pink extreme color to sparking. Okay, so quick recap. A lot of this stuff doesn't matter. Anything that says confirmed sparking obviously does. It means you're guaranteed to get a sparking unit, so just look at those. This part of the fight really doesn't have a huge factor in whether or not you're going to get a sparking. And then here in the poll, the only thing you really care about is if you get a gold or you get a spirit bomb. This increases your chances a fair amount, but in reality most of this it's kind of a crapshoot. And then here, the only thing you really care about is whether or not you get Vegeta. And that's really all there is to summon animations. I'm sure they're going to add more in the future. They did add some the first couple weeks that the game came out, so I'm hoping we'll see some new ones. Hopefully Goku fighting Cell, maybe Goku fighting Buu in the future. And as those come out, I will make sure to create a new updated video that has the new summoning rates based on the different animations. And if you guys have any questions, if any of this seems weird to you, I know that it's still fairly mathy, so you have to kind of add together all the percentages to kind of figure out what your sparking value is, so it's kind of weird. Really, I think the key here is focus on the guaranteed sparking outcome. So if you see Super Saiyan Vegeta, if you see Goku instant transmission Kamehameha Frieza in the face, things like that. But other than that, don't really worry about the animation, just enjoy it and get ready to see what your unit's going to be. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.